Welcome to my Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Tottenham. Today we are doing a preview of the match between Fulham and Tottenham at Craven Cottage. It's an EFL
Cup.
League Cup match. So it's Ant's first away cup game away at Fulham, and with me to preview that is Chuma, and he will join us on the other side. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs. Welcome back. Come on, Spurs TV, where we talk about everything Tottenham. Like I said, we're previewing the match between Fulham and Tottenham at Craven Cottage. Tuesday evening kickoff, 7:45. Chuma, how are you?
Fantastic, fabulous, loving Big Ange instead, South Coast remix. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And it's a big welcome to the Come On You Spurs Nation. And if you're viewing for the first time, or even if you've been here before, if we could please ask you to subscribe, click on the like button, share this with friends, families, rivals as well. And please leave a comment or comment on anything you'd like to hear Soji and I speak about, talk about, or where you would like to see the channel going as well. All right. Thank you. Come on, you Spurs.
Absolutely fantastic. Right. Welcome back. We have had so much fun this weekend. Played Bournemouth away, South Coast, and on paper, I mean, it wasn't going to be an easy ride. Yeah, we came away with the points at Bournemouth. I mean, and I saw that match. I didn't watch it live, unfortunately, because I had for some previous commitment. But I watched it later on Spurs play, and it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. I saw a few bits during the match. I mean, a few clips, but I didn't quite actually get to see the whole match itself. But it was really really good, really really good. Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
No, I thought it was a fantastic match. I actually think it was a different kind of match from Ange, what Ange has given us before. So if you look at it, you saw, and I think Match of the Day highlighted it as well. You saw Madison coming very deep to get the ball. He wasn't midway and up. He was coming into our own half to get the ball, which means Tottenham knew that, or Ange Postecoglou knew that Bournemouth were going to press very high. Like we said, we talked about it before. Iraola is a Bielsa disciple, Poch kind of guy. So it's 4-2-3-1, and his guys press very well, and they're quite young guys as well. So they were going to press. So what he did was he wanted to soak it in and collect the ball and just go directly through them. And every time you saw it, Madison showed deep, collects the ball off Van de Ven, collects the ball off Udogi on the left, turns, spins his man, 1-2, and then one straight touch, and we're on the attack. So it was almost like a counter attack or a counter press kind of thing that we were doing, which was quite different to how we usually press in your own half, get the ball off you and launch an attack. But this one, he knew that they were also playing a high line as well. So as soon as you dispossess them or get that ball and you just quickly turn it round, you're in. And you could see that time and time again. They played Son in. Richarlison got played in where he missed that chance. There's another opportunity. I think Richarlison got the ball, spun, gave it to Kulusevski, but Kulusevski cut back inside, and it was a masterclass. And it was like if this was an orchestra, Madison was the conductor in every way, shape, or form. He was just everything and everything we expected and more. And people could come back and say, well, it's Bournemouth, but my goodness, I don't care what the opposition is. If your number 10 is doing number 10 things, and Madison he was everything, and he capped it off with that wonderful goal set up by Pape Sarr, who himself was quite impressive. I think we've gotten to this point now, just saying to you offline, where the players are playing so well now, we think it's just their regular performance now. For us, it's a 7 out of 10, where in reality, that's an 8 out of 10 performance. We're like, no. He did it last game. And that's the standard we're getting to now.
And the interesting thing for me is the variety of the sources of the goals. I mean, we've had 6 different goal scorers, right? So far, and only one of them has been an attacking player. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and Mr. Kulusevski. Okay, maybe Madison as well, but I mean, by and large, it's been very it's been spread. I mean, across across the board. And I mean, one thing that's, I mean, I guess there's so many outstanding performances, and I picked out Doge. You know, I thought Doge was absolutely beastly. I mean, I use the word beastly in the sense of, I mean, how he kind of, you know, strode into the box. I mean, the chance that the goal, he more or less made that goal for Kulusevski, the one, the pullback, you know, and just stole in just at the right moments. You know, I mean, they were like totally confused because we had about 5 or 6 players in their box, you know,
yeah,
at the time of the attack, which for me was just typical Ange ball, you know, which is continually pushing, and when what's the word, Roselso came on, I thought he actually also played really well. You know, I mean,
yeah, he did.
First match of the season, he's coming on to play, and he gave an absolutely fantastic account of himself. Now, we survived a few scary moments in the match, you know, and I just want to sort of point out one particular player on their side who I thought was actually outstanding, despite the fact that they lost to Semenyo. That boy is gonna be a really good player. I mean, I guess people are gonna come after him. I mean, at some point, because he was really good. He broke up play. He's the sort of player that you don't like because he's playing against you. You want him to
He
play for
tackled
you.
all our best players.
Yeah,
He tackled all our best players. Every single time any of our guys was picking up momentum, it seems they sent him over to mark them, and he'd come for you. He went for Dougie, he went for Madison earlier in the game. He just,
you know,
and he has a very wicked shot about him as well.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, so he gave a very good account. I think he was the best. He was their best player. He was their best player by and large. I think probably their keeper as well. Their keeper is quite good with his feet. Neto, I think he's Brazilian. He's quite good with his feet as well. Because there are certain periods we pressed him where he passed out very, very well.
And I mean, we're talking of being good with your feet, Vicario
Vicario.
gave a masterful performance in that match. There was one time he gave some passes. I thought to myself, "Oh my goodness, he's playing like a midfielder, you know, like, you know, look this way and pass the ball the other way." I was like, "Oh wow, that was absolutely really good."
We heard, you know, we were told that he was the cheap option. He was this, he was that. Yes, in all fairness, he wasn't the most expensive buy. However, he was scouted. People knew who he was. He's highly rated and thought of in Italy and in some quarters in Europe. And it's not because, you know, the Italians just want to hype him. He's actually a very good goalkeeper, and I think he has really settled in. I mean, that back line, you know, I mean, you gave credit to Doggy really real standout, but no one's talking about Porro, who we've been lambasting, or people have been lambasting for the last year, that, or you know, that he can't defend, but Porro tucked in very well, allowing Udogi do his business. You know, he did some very, very incisive passes forward that you look at it and he wasn't caught out by any of their wing play. So you have to say that he's learning the thing. And I think maybe against opposition like this, and I think I understand why Ange kept this side the same, because he felt a similar kind of problem would come where it would be pacey players. So he just wanted Porro in there. If not, Emerson could have done the job today as well. And he would have still worked out well. The beauty of this, I think, anybody he had played today would have been, or played on the day. I mean, if Lo Celso had started, would still have won. You know, I just see them. They're just interchangeable parts of the same thing, and it's a wonderful sight to see.
The what's the word? The thing that sort of struck me was, you know, you had this criticism that Gary Neville, gave about Ange ball and all that, and of course you had the cross from Ange after the match, I said, yeah, I'm only copying, I'm only copying Pep, mate. You know, that was good. But there was a point in the match when I thought to myself, isn't that interesting? When Poro got the ball from Vicario and on the half turn just lost his man, which was what he was trying to do against Man United, but didn't come off, But it came off and it looked really,
Yeah,
really fantastic. I mean, in this particular match, I thought to myself, you know, what and you can see what Andy's trying to do. Everyone, they're not, they're getting there match by match, and it's getting better, with every match. I mean, and it's yeah, gonna have teams obviously. I mean, having chances in matches and all that, which is not totally unusual. I mean, as we say in Pigeon, they didn't come and sell granuts,
indeed,
you
indeed,
the
indeed.
opponents did not come and play. So hey, I mean, of course they're going to create chances. The thing is how you manage those opportunities and ensure that they don't score, or if they score, you outscore them. And I think so far we've managed to uh, be on the right side of those things. Of course, it's early days and it's nice, but all I just say is enjoy the moment, and I'm enjoying every moment so far, and long may it continue. I mean, roll on Fulham. Fulham. Now, there's no easy matches at this stage, I mean, okay, granted, it's the EFL Cup, but Fulham are not an easy proposition for any team whatsoever, And the way to Craven Cottage, I mean, similar type of ground as the one as Bournemouth, close, I mean, on the bank of of the Thames, London, West London, on a cold, well, not quite cold. I mean, weather has been playing all sorts of
Funny game.
games this season, and
Yeah.
you expect to be warm, but I mean, yeah, probably rainy night and in West London. How do you think that's going to turn out? I mean, I mean, I have my own thoughts. Let's hear your thoughts first.
Well, I think for me, I think, like you said, it's a London derby. So first and foremost, we all know that form goes out to the window in London derby, in derby matches generally. So you're looking for Fulham to fight. Fulham also probably feel hard done by over the weekend as well, where I think they drew with Arsenal 2-2. But there were certain things in the game that that they felt went against them. And under Marco Silva, they're a very good team. I just think they've been slightly disrupted because they lost Mitrovic, they lost what's the Brazilian guy, Willian. Certain players have gone to Saudi from their club. Certain players have moved. The manager was unsettled as well because Saudi Arabian clubs came for him as well. So they're a club that haven't really worked out themselves for this season as such, but they're still a very I think he's given them an identity, and this is I think the focal point I think in football now is you're looking at teams that have an identity and teams that are trying to get an identity and teams that don't have an identity at all. And Fulham have stayed a full season with Marco Silva now, and they have his DNA. He plays attacking football. He plays pressing football. He's one of those coaches that is very in the now in terms of tactics. But the real question I think I would have is would Ange make wholesale changes or would he make really sparring ones to keep everybody still going? I particularly want to see the wingers change, and I would like to keep Richarlison. I know we haven't gotten to the lineup yet, but I would love to see Richarlison. But I think Ange will take this very seriously because he knows the history of Tottenham, and we need to win a cup. And we need to do very well in the cups as well. And since he doesn't have Europe, he's going to look at this as his Europe. He's going to look at this as his further test beside the league. So I think he will take this very seriously indeed. So I personally don't think there will be a huge changeover of personnel. I think he's probably going to keep the same kind of structure, just move one or two players around. Maybe we've been screaming Mano Solomon, Mano Solomon. I think Mano Solomon because this is going to be meaningful against his ex teammates and his opportunity to roast them, take the hate. You need a hate figure for everyone to pour their scorn on for your players to play well. And I think this is right for Mano Solomon.
I do much for him to come in and make his debut, if you like. You know, okay, I mean that's in debut
As in
away.
starting debut,
Yeah,
yeah,
starting
the
debut, right?
starting one.
So, I mean, I like I said, I mean, it's never London derbies are never easy, regardless of the position. It could be Crystal Palace, it could be Arsenal, it could be Chelsea, you know, Fulham, whoever, and everyone's going full pelt, you know, and so potential banana skin on the surface, but I mean, I think we go there with a solid team mentality that we've had so far. We expect to come out with the results, given people's hopes and aspirations for Tottenham over the last few years, you know. And I think, okay, fine, we have the makings of a solid team, at least, I mean, with the solid start we've had so far this season. Now, Man Solomon, head figure, if he makes a start, okay, I mean, do you think it might be, what's the word, impactful? Or it might work against us in the sense of nerves and all that sort of thing in terms of him getting on the ball and stuff like I don't know, but
I personally think, sorry for interjecting, but I think the kind of squad mentality we have been fostering, I think the guys on the bench are itching to go. They're itching to prove that they too are into Angeball. This is just me, but like you said, Lo Celso came on and he could have said, well, I've only got like 15, 20 minutes to just. But Lo Celso was meaningful. Lo Celso was up. He was doing all the Madison things, but not as flashy as Madison. But it was the same thing: incisive passing, movement. We had like two, three chances that if we were not winning that game, they should have been taken. Especially Perisic. My goodness, Perisic, I think
oh
has
god,
changed the mindset. We didn't talk about him, but
yeah.
Perisic has changed people's minds because this is the guy we all know. He's a great winger. He's not a wing back in England. Maybe abroad where it's lighter. In this country, it's physical. But look at him roasting the young man. What's his name? Max Aarons, who I really like, who has been Tottenham watched as
Yeah.
well. He completely rinsed him.
And he had this just opportunity that just went just wide, you know, at the end. And yeah, it's Perisic has been a revelation this season. But,
No, he
you know,
has, he has, he has, and he's coming on to do this. Imagine giving him a start. Like I said, everyone's itching to see. Skip, I think, is also feeling a bit overshadowed now that Pape Sarr has come onto the scene. He's itching to go and say, okay, no, I get my chance, I play. We also didn't talk about the fact that Andrew's substitutions were so on point in that
oh,
Bournemouth game
oh,
because if you notice, Bournemouth were on top of us the first 15 minutes after we came back from the break.
yeah.
They were really on us. Semenyo had that chance. They were winning the ball and said, what do I need? I need someone to settle this. You could tell that not that they were bullying Papi Sarr, but it was bypassing him a bit. He brought Højbjerg, pushed Bissouma into the eighth position, say, okay, now you run with the ball. Højbjerg, your job is just to facilitate, recycle this ball, keep it going. And then Perisic, I'm going to move Son inside. Your job is just to terrorize this boy. And one on one, Max Aarons couldn't take it. And that allowed Son more space. Um, Bissouma coming into midfield allowed Kulusevski himself also drifting central as well. It was a right time and it was the right people. And when last have we said that about the Spurs team substitutions? Under Antonio Conte, we rarely made substitutions. He was like, "This is the team I have. I don't think the guys on the bench are any good." Pochettino also had the problem as well of we always used to accuse him that man, Poch had no plan B. He has no, but long may it continue. But it was such a good thing for him to do, and I think you saw those players. If those are the same players coming on to start against Fulham, Fulham are in trouble.
Yeah, and one thing I mean, that we've said on this channel is Ange has shown flexibility. He's shown adaptability. You know, he's even though he's playing handball, he's shown that handball is actually is malleable. You don't, you're not, it's not like fixed sort of system whereby okay, this is how we play and nothing else. You know, you've seen offensive Madison. You've seen what Michael Him coming deep, picking up the ball. You've seen him getting wide positions. You know, you've seen the what's the word, the defenders doing stuff that you don't normally see defenders. Oh, I forgot to mention Van der Van. Sorry.
Van der Ven, my
Oh God.
goodness, of course.
Now, That young man
Silk,
hasn't put one foot wrong since he arrived at Tottenham. He's played only 3 games, but he's already become a fan favorite. You know.
silk,
Honestly,
silk.
it's yes, that's the word. Silk.
Silk. When you see him, you're seeing the tackling. He doesn't even tackle you to be violent. He just collects that ball from you. You know, there was that run where he just slid and just boom off. Then when he gets the ball, he can run with it or he can just decide to calm it down. I'm like, this guy is, oh my goodness, we are so blessed right now.
Yes.
Like really, really blessed.
So tempted.
What a find. And he made Romero. Romero is now just enjoying life. So it really did make sense that look, Romero couldn't play with Dyer and them guys anymore because they were killing him. Look at Romero now. And you could almost say the same thing, like this is history repeating itself. Remember that Vertonghen played with Kabul, Fazio, and Vertonghen was good, but the minute
when
Toby
Toby
arrived,
came, yeah,
we just saw Vertonghen become this
yeah.
elite
Super,
defender. He
super.
was always there.
Yeah, yeah. That's well. So I mean, starting lineup predicted. Starting that lineup for this match. Let's go through it very quickly. You think he might go for a different keeper or might keep Vicario?
I would almost say he wants to give Foster a shot. I would almost say yes. I wouldn't play Vicario, but because of preseason, that's why I think a lot of things will stay the same. We didn't have that much of a preseason, so this is virtually. That's also why we're not like clicking into giving teams 5 or 6, in my opinion. Is we're still getting the feels of preseason. So I would keep Vicario because it's not a small team. If it was a smaller team, we'd had like, all due respect to them, Swindon or Scunthorpe or something like that. Yeah, we'll put in Foster, but because it's a London derby and these guys, I personally think, I'm one of those guys. I'm of the school of thought that when you meet your enemy or your rival, you need to kill them. So the next time they come, they'll carry the fear of what you did to them before.
Yep.
So I would play Vicario. I would literally play that starting back four, except I would take out Poro and put in Emerson because I think he's going to be quite physical since it's a London derby. I'll put Emerson in.
Okay, so that's back four settled. So the only change you'd make in back four would be Emerson.
Oh yeah, but Udogie also had a bit of an injury scare in the game, so maybe Davies comes in, maybe.
It's amazing how they begin to build up slow. I mean, what you might call the makings of your regular first 11, if you like, for a better expression, whereby you think, okay, these are people that you would start if you had a choice to choose from. So which is good. That midfield still has Mr. Bissouma as the central figure, right? But there's so many players around there that you could sort of make changes with. You could make, I mean, even with Madison is very good. Don't get me wrong, but you, like I said, you have Skip, you have Sa, you have Hoiberg. What do we do?
I would keep Bissouma as the 8, as the 6, sorry, and I would put Lo Celso for Madison, and I would leave Sa. I'd leave Sa on. So I'd keep 2 of the 3 midfielders and only change Madison and bring on the Celso for Madison. But I would keep Sa and Bissouma, keep them going because they're quite fit lads. So I'd keep them going. Because I don't, like I said, I don't, because it's a London derby and because he wants to put his marker down both on the first game of the League Cup and the fact that it's against a rival that we're going to meet down the line. I think he wants to win this like properly. So I think he won't make wholesale changes. Just a few, whoever's had an injury, carried an injury, and Udogie had the thing at the end of the game. Madison, of course, we know had the little thing, but he still played and played well. But still, let's save him for the league match. So the Celso for Madison, but Bissouma and Sarr stay, in my opinion.
Front line.
Front line, I would change the 2 on the side. I would have Richarlison's the only person I would start because Richarlison needs to get off the mark for his own sanity
and confidence.
I think he's where Sonny was. Yeah, a lot of people pointed the fact he trod on the ball as well at one point. That I think comes from overthinking.
Yeah, well, that was just accidental. I mean, that was pretty much.
And he's anxious. He was thinking ahead of getting the ball or what he wanted to do. Yeah. And people have made a point. They tried to make fun of him, and a lot of people are bantering him online. But for me, I just think I would give him as many games as possible because we're winning and scoring as well. So I
Absolutely.
would keep him. But like I said to you offline, I think one of the major issues, in my opinion, and I don't know what you guys think out there, please leave a comment to say what you think. I think that he suffers from not having true 1v1 wingers because everyone says, well, Ange Ball worked in Celtic. But look at who Celtic had on the side. You had Jota, you had Maida. Sometimes when you didn't have Maida, you had Abada, and these guys were very good one-on-one, and they were cutting the ball back.
Putting the ball back here
So
quite
they
often.
were stretching the defenders when they were going one-on-one, allowing more space in the middle for creativity to the middle, and bringing out centre backs to try and help their full backs. So Richarlison really, it is not making excuses for the man. He's a very good player. We all know he is. And I just think Son and Kulusevski, at this moment in time, they haven't worked out how to help him, even to help themselves to a point. Though Kulusevski went a long way to doing that by showing you he made those runs inside. As soon as he saw the trigger of Udogi going byline, he just went boom, I'm going center. The striker isn't there because it was Son that was playing striker, did the 1-2.
You could
He
see
went
that
to
the
fill in that
defenders were
space.
totally befuddled when he arrived.
Yes, yeah, because they're wondering where is this guy going to with this ball. And then there were 5 of them to the 2, him and Son, and then he was just creeping in and they went watching and he just boom. So I look at it that imagine if you had 1v1, Udogi wouldn't have to make that run if you had wingers that were doing that job. And if you watch his Celtic side, you watch his Yokohama side, they had wingers that were terrorizing people. People like if we had like a Mitoma, my goodness, I think Richie would be off the mark a long time. But I would like to see Perisic and I would like to see Solomon
So
instead
Perez,
of Son
Solomon,
and
and
Kulusevski.
Richarlison, yes?
Yes.
So 11 of Vicario, back 4 of
Emerson.
Emerson, Van de Ven, Romero, and possibly Udogie again, or maybe Davis.
I'll go Davis because just leave Udogie out for this.
Right, so Davis, and then in the middle we have Bissouma, Celso, and Papi Matessa. Okay, and then up front, Solomon, Perisic, and Richarlison. Yeah, so that's a pretty lineup. Let's hear what you think in the comment section, and then we'll take it from there. Scores. What do you think the scores will look like? I mean, we'll predict the score.
Well, like Fulham, like if they had Mitrovic, I would have been really, really fighting. Like, they have a very good midfielder in Palinia.
Yep.
So I think Palinia can create problems for us a bit. But I'm looking at continuing the same thing, either 2-0 or 3-1. If we concede, we'll concede 1 goal, I think, maybe. But I'm very optimistic. I think because it's Ange's first cup game, he knows the history of Tottenham. He's going to really, really drum it into his players. Like, look, everyone's saying that you guys are, you're not cup competition, you're not this. We're taking everything like this is a league game for me. And I want to win. I win every game. And I think that's the mentality and the mindset that's going to go into this. This is not a practice game. This is not we're putting our second 11. No, he's out here to win. So knowing him, and on average, I think he scores 2 goals in a win, or 2-3 goals in a win. In every Andrew win is 2-3 goals. So I'll go 3-1. It's quite possible they could score. So I'll go 3-1.
I'll go 3-0. Okay, and Richarlison score a brace. Get him off the mark.
I like that.
And Lo popping one in as well. Yeah. So that's my prediction. 3-0 Tottenham.
Wow. highly Optimus Primus. Yeah.
I know, right?
But I like that 3-0 and keep the clean sheets going. Yeah, and that was another thing we didn't mention. 2 straight games, 2 clean sheets. Once again, when last did we say this? So
and with Tottenham's supposedly rugged defense, but that seems to be the reverse now. Everyone's now talking about the attack not being sharp, and the defense.
We always have some. We're Tottenham fans. We always have something to complain about. So, but better to complain about an attack, and we're still scoring goals and winning, than complaining about leaking goals and losing, which is much of our thing last year.
Good. Guys, thank you very much for joining us, Truma. We'll look forward to seeing you at the post-match live stream. It's coming up at 10:15 on Tuesday, right after the match, 45 minutes after the match, we'll have live stream where we'll hear your points of view, and look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs! Right.